Perfect. So let's talk about your upcoming album, Brutalist. I'm very excited for it to come out. I have already listened to it. I'm a big fan. You've already released two singles from it. How have you found the reaction to those singles so far?
Honestly astonishing. Like I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like the reaction that we've gotten is like, I mean, we know our fans, but like the people that are just finding it for the first time, it's so cool for them to be just finding these singles
Mm.
and then going back. But yeah, I mean, just really grateful. Everyone seems to really have such nice things to say about it. There's a few haters, but you're always gonna get that. But
It's
yeah, it's
for
been
the
lovely.
honestly for the most part, it's really cool to see people digest these as they've been intended to digest. Um, there's not really many questions of why we call it pop music and why it's this and why it's not this. Everyone's down for it right out the gate, and yeah, I really think that people have been taking it in, and it's not like this big shock of like, what is this? They're really accepting of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the perfect like fusion of like the heavy riffs, the pitch harmonics, which make my chest very happy, and then like the vocal melodies. It's beautiful to listen to, and I'm
Thank
glad
you.
Hell
people
yeah.
are getting on that. So you have released an EP before. Has the
Yes.
writing process been different to this upcoming album compared to your last release?
Not
Not so much.
necessarily. Honestly, it's so funny. We've talked about this so much over the past few days that we have it like down to a science. Our writing process really, we really put a lot of intention into giving each other the proper space to write. A lot of the times, the songs they'll either start with me or they'll start with Sachi. If Sachi starts it, it'll be like a 16 bar hook or a verse or an instrumental, like a drone or a sub bass will sing over. Then he'll send it to me and I'll build out the instrumental from there. And then I'll send it back. He'll record vocals and he'll send those vocals back to me. And then I'll mix it, or I just make the instrumental and I send it over to him. He cuts vocals, sends it back to me, and then I make adjustments from there. But we really like giving each other the space to do what we have to do individually. We think space is confidence, and that goes especially for writing music, and confidence in each other. I know that when I send Sachi something, I'm going to get the coolest vocals I've ever heard in my life back every single time. And he knows that if he passes along an idea to me, he knows he's going to get the coolest instrumental back every single
Yeah.
time.
It's so cool because like we don't really hear what each other do on songs until we get the version back. It's like
Yeah.
he doesn't really hear vocals until they're all done, and then I send them over to him, and then I don't really hear instrumental. Like I'll like obviously I can hear he's a room over, but like
Yeah.
not as much to where I'm like putting an idea to it. Like
Mm.
once it comes across my desk, then I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. And it's really
Yeah.
cool that we give each other that space to do that.
It
That's
always
crazy
keeps you
that
on
this
your
still
toes
works
too.
as
Like you
well.
really, you really don't know what to expect. And
Yeah.
because I feel like everything we do is so like left or right. It's like, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be really heavy. And it's going to be light and pretty, opposite way.
But it just works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever like been writing and you're kind of like this riff works better with this melody that I did like separately. So you're like cross-referencing songs.
Well, honestly, lately we've been finding that if the vocal melody is better than the guitar, we'll just make the guitar the vocal melody.
Hmm.
So, like, he'll sing a hook. I'll have a simple, chug along pattern just to be under him, and he takes the lead. And then there'll be a post hook, and it'll literally just be his vocal line on guitar.
Love that. These are
If
kind of
it's good, do it twice.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Kind of two separate questions for each of you. Vocally, like lyrically, everything like melodically is quite emotional. How do you find writing about that?
So my favorite way to describe the way that I write music is I fully detach myself out of my body from the song. Like I can't go into a song saying I'm gonna write about this situation or I'm gonna write about this. Like I don't even worry about what I'm saying. Like it's all gonna make sense later, whether that's like a year with the song being out or right then and there as soon as it's done. But like I don't let myself think that this is about anything. I kind of just like give it like let it create its own story. And that allows me to like become a fan of like my own work and like attach to it myself, like as a first time listener. Like I try not to pay as much attention to anything that I'm doing and just like trust my body.
That makes sense. Noah, musically, like how do you like what do you listen to and get inspired by things that you write?
Honestly, a lot of things. There's
Mhm.
not like one specific source of where I like to pull things from. There's different places. There's like obviously like the music that I do like, and then there's places that I pull emotional
Mm.
uh creativity from. I play a game called Life is Strange, and
Okay.
it's like my main source of like feed myself and put myself into a nice place where I can go and write something devastating. Um, but I don't. We both have pretty similar music tastes at time. But then Sachi will send me something that like I am not really too like listen to it every day, and then I'll hear influences in that and try to pull from that. Because obviously, you know, like I'm not writing for me, I'm writing for us. Like
Mm.
there needs to be things included that both of us desire. And if he's really excited about something and I can include that style in there, it's only going to make him more confident and happier to write to that. So like there's a lot of Viljarda, there's a lot of Tate McRae, um, there's a lot of Chase Atlantic, you know, a lot of Humanity's Last Breath stuff. We're big Buster Oldham fans, so there's a lot of that stuff in there. Yeah, like we really just try to keep each other happy with a constant source of influence and not really just hone in on one specific thing. And I think through doing so, we found our sound and we're just constantly working on it. Like there's less outside influence now, and the
Yeah,
influence comes
100%.
from like the calls coming from in the house now, you know,
In the one house.
in the one house, in
Yes.
our
The call
house.
is
Yeah.
coming from inside our house.
It's easier to write something new, and then on the next time we write something, listen back to that other song and go, okay, cool, it'd be sick. Like if we were writing an album, if this is the first song, this song should come next. We try to write as like long and like endurance writing. Like we try to go as far as we
Run
can
on
with like,
sentences.
yeah, like with one theme, one sound, one whatever, you know,
Yeah.
try to make it all one long art piece.
Cool. I like it. You've not been a band for very long. How did
No.
you start? Were you already like friends first?
Yeah,
Yes.
we met in like 2020, 2021. Um, and Noah was instantly like we just clicked at like first like meet. It was just I don't know how to like what other way to describe it. It was just like it was meant to happen. And
Yeah.
we started making music together like right when we met. And then we just like kept growing and evolving together through all different endeavors, all different types of music that we were making at the time. And then we finally just like pulled the trigger on it. It was like, let's just really do this.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
We were up in San Francisco at a bar, and we had just been thinking about it for so long.
We were in
Um
Amoeba.
oh, we were in Amoeba in San
Amoeba's a
Francisco.
music.
Yeah.
Amoeba's like a record store that's here in California.
Nice.
And there's a location up in San Francisco. We were there, and there was this album cover that had two people on it. And I was like, this could be us, but you don't want to fuck with me.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
And then that became the inspo for the Limerence cover.
Yes. I
Ah,
still don't know what record that was. We just
Yeah,
saw
we
it.
got to go
And
back and find that, dude. I bet you money that's still there. Nobody grabbed that.
yeah,
If
it's like
somebody
a
sees
deep
this in San
cut.
Francisco, go to the Amoeba on Hate and let me know if you see a white record with two faces on it.
Yeah.
perfect. Yep.
It was the Amoeba on Hate Street.
Okay. I'll make a plan. I'll go.
Yeah.
So you actually popped up on my TikTok last year, and I was like, immediate follow. This is a bit of me. This is perfect.
Hell
Have
yeah.
you found that a lot of fans have just found you for the power of social media?
I feel like yes, obviously, but I feel like where our true like discovery comes from is the live aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've been fortunate to play Europe as many times as we have and play, US as many times as we have and like with all different bands and all different fan bases. And I feel like live is where it really translates. And especially like even live going like the ladder going from live to social media, like people post like live clips of us and they'll just go super viral, and then it's like I gotta see this band live, and that is like where I feel like it does retain from social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think live for sure.
Okay. I was gonna say you've already made some like massive shows for not being a band very long. How do you
Oh
feel
yeah.
about that?
That's really just off of the strength of just going places and talking to people and just having good work ethic and working hard. A lot of the reason why we have gotten the kickoff that we've had is because of the work that we've done, not socially, but behind the scenes. We've met a lot of really good people who have really done a lot of good for us. And I don't think we would have gotten this great big jump that we did if we didn't know who we know and have those people that we know go so hard for us.
Yeah.
Jeff Keeler, our buddy, one of the best guitarist players we've ever met, has
Shout out
done
Jeff.
astronomical amounts of things for this band off of just his strength and connections on his own. And yeah, lots of people have really helped us, but I just want to give him a little shout out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from touring? Is this like the first time you've been touring, the both of you?
I mean, we've been touring the both of us like together since 2023,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I feel like we've really learned like the fact of like giving it your all as much on stage. And like something that I learned from touring really early on was that like you're not doing this for you, you're doing this for them. Because there's so many people in the crowd that like, like there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in the world, and like people are spending their hard-earned money at their jobs to come see you play in some venue on like a Wednesday night, and like
Yeah.
whether you're having a bad day or you're sick, throwing up, or whatever else, like
Take
at the
time off of their
in that
Friday lives.
moment, you suck that up and you go up there and you just give it your all, no matter if there's 10 people in the crowd or 10,000, and it's like
Yeah.
it just shows, and that's my favorite part about touring. It's just like having like because I believe that live music has such an emotional connection that like just that headphones really don't give as much at the time. But I do think that like developing a connection with somebody that's in the room watching you pour your emotions out on a stage is just so special.
Yeah. We have this thing. Well, I have this thing that I call it. I call it the Holy Ghost. Like if we have like a really sick set, I'll walk up the stage and be like, "Yeah, we caught the Holy Ghost on that one." Like when you're on stage, you get that like out of body
Mm.
experience and like that crazy adrenaline rush. That's
Yeah,
the Holy Ghost.
Every night when you come off, you're like, Holy Ghost.
Holy
Yeah,
Ghost.
called that Holy Ghost good. Holy Ghost kick my ass. Like
And those
that's
are yeah, those are like my favorite moments too, is when like me and Noah or Noah and like or if I'm watching Noah and Sax or like one of us
yeah,
just like locks eyes and we know that we're on top of the world in that moment together. Like
yeah,
stage is like one of the only places like where truly I feel like all anxiety is gone. I'm not tired, I'm not hung I'm not like I'm there. I'm existing in that world, and it's I don't know, there's just
yeah.
something about it.
There's a lot of times on stage that like we'll look at each other and just be like,
Hmm.
because it's just like
Like holding
it's so,
back
like
tears
if the crowd's
normally.
going crazy, like we'll just start dying laughing because it's just like what the fuck, like there's no way this shit is for us. Like
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen you live yet, and I'm really looking forward to when you come back to the UK end of the
Hell
year.
yeah,
yeah.
we'll be there soon.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. Have you thought
Where
about?
you where
Oh,
you located at?
I'm near London.
Oh,
Oh,
sick. Okay.
I'm the London show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I will. Don't you worry. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Awesome.
But have you thought about how the production is going to be and how like the set list is going to be? Is it too early for that yet?
No,
Um,
it's done.
it's all done.
Yeah. Not the obviously the UK tour
Mm.
set list. That's not done yet, but the ones for the next few are actually, excuse me, only the next two are. The other one I got to do, and I got a week and a half to do it. Um, that's gonna suck. But yeah, it's easy. We MD ourselves, so like I'll just
Mhm.
like throw it in Logic and just I have like a template already that I do, so I just bounce my stems, slap it all in there, get my click track going. I have a cue. I have a little robot voice that talks to us that tells us where to go, what to do, when to get on stage, when to get off stage, counts us in.
Tells us we
Tells
did a good job.
Yeah, it tells us we did a good job. Um, I have it say "fuck shit up" at the start of the set, or "fuck them up,
Fuck them
boys."
up. Yeah, fuck them up,
Yeah,
boys.
I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess keeping it. So
When
you go.
Charlie XCX dropped Brat Summer, I had it said, "This is our Brat Summer, boys."
I love that. I love that you keep everything so in-house as well.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you just do everything yourselves. Have you always just
yeah.
known how to do that, or did you learn how to do that for this project?
Honestly, with how fast everything is moving, it's been a really big challenge to keep up with things. So like we've both just been like locked onto our
Yeah.
computers.
Just
Like
working more
he's
than
doing a bunch
ever.
of graphic design shit, learning all these different programs. I'm here trying to up my mix and production like every second of every fucking day. Got a bunch of new gear, new monitors and stuff, and just like trying to use the sources that we have at Bay to like constantly keep up with ourselves. And like this industry is changing faster than it has in the past 30 years.
Mm.
So there's already like so much to keep up with.
So I didn't know you did all the graphic design stuff.
Yeah, I design all the merch. I do all the graphic design. I ship out all the merch orders. I have like 20 sitting like right there
Uh-huh.
that I tried to ship out this morning, but the post office was closed for some
Ah.
odd reason.
Sorry, Lil Lotus just got home.
No, that's all good. But yeah, I want to talk about visuals. So I'm a graphic designer myself. That's my
Yeah.
full-time job.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
and how do you like when you're kind of designing and when you're thinking of like music videos and the production behind that, is that kind of incorporated in your brain when you're writing the music?
Yes, 100%. I think every body of work or every song in general, I feel like every era of this band has a texture to it.
Hmm.
And, since we're talking about Brutalist being stainless steel and concrete,
Mm.
and going into even like on the visual side of this album, I really just wanted to highlight what those textures make me feel emotionally and like how we can display that as a band
Hmm.
visually. And
Yeah.
I think we're
There's
doing a
there's
really good
usually a
job.
texture before there's even a sound. Like he's
Yeah,
had this
that's how we
idea
live
for
it.
concrete and steel for so long, and like right after Limerence came out, he just started talking about concrete and steel and brutalism, and then like we started writing these ideas, and then like it just like honestly, without even like the idea of concrete and steel, at least for me in my head, once the first song came out, I was able to put like two and two together and be like, oh shit, this is a sound that genuinely matches a texture. And
Yeah.
then it just was
And
right.
it's all about building a world too that people can find themselves in and that people want to exist in.
Yeah,
So it's like if they like the feeling that they're resonating with through the music, it's like what better way to just match that visually?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And that
it's a it's a lot of immersion we
Yeah.
really try to do, you know.
hmm and that translates to like music videos and things you're doing behind the scenes there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
100%.
honestly, like people want to talk about what really separates a growing artist from someone playing stadiums is like the true immersion of your art, you know? Like you look at Sleep Token and they have literally drawn and rendered a world that is in all of their content. Like I can think of Arcadia and I know what it looks like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Mm.
that's fucking crazy, you know?
Yeah.
That
It's a,
really separates a lot of people from them, you know?
yeah. It's the
Even the
full
other big
package.
artists in the world,
Yeah.
you know, like they have their thing. Those dudes exist in that place that they have coined Arcadia. They are not they're not from like anywhere, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
they're
they are
not here. They're there.
intergalactical musicians that exist in that world that you can only find through their music. And
Yeah.
that is the coolest shit ever.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's the full package. It's the visuals, it's how you makes you feel, it's the music, it's everything immersed in it.
Yeah. Even like, you know, I mean, if some people are just more visual people, like you could not write the best music in the world, and if you have a visual package, like you are like you can't really be one thing without the other. Like you can make phenomenal music, but if you are not all there with your visual package, it's going to be really hard to be
Grab a
convincing
connection.
to a
Yeah.
crowd. Yeah, grabbing attention. We listen to so many bands that are just like the best musicians we've ever heard, but just do not care about anything visually, you know.
Yeah, I get that. So if no one has heard of you before, you're like, these are some songs that I want to give these people, like, and how would you describe Sace6 to someone who's never heard of you?
Pop music.
Pop music.
Okay.
Just
Why?
pop music. because it's
Yeah.
so much easier than going into like literally what we're about to do and like
Hmm.
over explain something that can just be broken down so simply into what we believe it is.
Yeah.
You know, it is pop music. It is popular music,
Hmm.
and that's that, you
Just
know?
it just has our own flavor on it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like if
And
you
it
look at
sounds
like
cool.
if you look at like award shows, like you have so many different artists that are up for the same nominee under this one category, being like you have Harry Styles going up against Taylor Swift, then going up against like a rapper going up against you know what I mean? And it's like the thing is with metal right now or just like heavy music in general, like it rubs me the wrong way so much that it only has one to two categories
Mm.
for the and like I don't really care about like an award or like award shows and stuff like that much, but it's just like for the construct of like what pop music is. Like if you look at like VMAs 2004, it was like 50 Cent and
Limp Bizkit.
like 50 Cent up against Evanescence, and like
Yeah.
at the time Evanescence was winning that, and
Yeah.
it was like Fred Durst was sitting next to Britney Spears, but nowadays you have Billie Eilish and Knocked Loose in the same room, and they're in two different sectors of
Billie Eilish side
Billboard.
stage for Knocked Loose.
But then she's, you know what I mean? But then like it still goes hand in hand, and like that's just one example. But it's like we want to really challenge music to go back to that place because there are so many bands right now that I feel like being in this genre are being undermined or being like, oh, well, then they'll never be that big because they do this type of music. And it's like, we just watched Bad Omens sell out the same arena that Sabrina
Harry
Carpenter,
Styles.
you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, that's where I feel like music has to get back to. So it's like just skipping all of like the sonic labels of being like, oh, well, this is this mixed with this, and then with that. It's like, it's
Yeah.
just, I feel like it's
We don't
much,
want to be drop tune fall pop R&B with this and that book talk. Like just we are just pop music, you know?
yeah.
There's
It's
no
just straight up
argument
what it is.
over there's no arguing in comments being like, no, they're this, but they're also this.
Mm.
Metalcore fucking this and this. And it's just no,
Yeah.
just pop
Because it's
music.
like
Just
you
save
don't call
everybody
Harry
the headache. It's
Styles,
just pop music. Yeah.
you don't call Harry Styles like indie rock pop and then Taylor Swift
Indie
like
rock talk pop,
country
you know,
pop
like
fusion. Everything in that world is literally just pop music, and it's
Mm.
like our sonics are similar enough in a way where you can straight up just call it pop music.
Yeah. I mean, that's really refreshing to hear. So I love
yeah.
that. And it's
Hell
like,
yeah.
I feel like 8 a.m. for me, that's like, oh, open my
Yeah.
mind for the rest of the day.
We don't want to be niche. We want to go to the moon.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. That's the
Yeah.
quote. That's the headline.
Yeah. That is pretty good. Hey, not bad, you know?
Um, do you have any favorite songs from your upcoming album?
Ooh, we have a lot. If I were to narrow it down to
Look at the
three,
track list.
I would say Perfidy, Nepenthe, and Dolores.
How come?
Um,
Ooh, how come? I feel like those are just some of those. I feel like Dolores for me is one of those songs that like I fully wrote without even paying attention to. And like, fun fact, like when we made it, I didn't like it at first. I was like, I'm not into it. I didn't like it. And then like I sat with it for like a day, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. And I like allowed myself to like become, a fan of it from the
and
outside
also to be
perspective.
fair, it had a weird like it had a really weird drum pattern. And
Oh
then
yeah, we
like
changed the
as
drum
we started
pattern.
recording on it, I like walked in and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I changed those drums. Like
But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it, and with Nepenthe, I feel like it's just so polarizing because to me, all these songs are validation that we really hit the nail on the head with what we were trying to do, subconsciously and being calculated. Like we we feel so confident that we really did just like do exactly what we wanted to do. We like exceeded our
yeah,
expectations. And Perfidy, I feel like is just such a cool song for me because I feel like it involves so many different like genres, subgenres, or even just like eras of music that like I love so much into one song. And I just haven't heard a song like that before. So I'm just really excited for other people to hear them as
yeah.
well.
What about you, Noah?
I think for me, I gotta go it like changes every other day. There's like a few
Mhm.
constants. Like Allure has pretty consistently been at like my very top, just because it's like Allure just sounds like the atmosphere is crushing you. Like it is just, for me, just especially with what I had went through when that song was being written and put together, it was just like honestly some of the worst moments I think I will ever experience in my life. And that song just like really like instantly takes me to this just like miserable place. And it literally, to me, that song just sounds like the world is caving in on me. So it's really hard for me to beat that one. I mean, there's obviously a lot of like trauma tied to it. But yeah, that one's it's a banger. I really love that one. Ego's also just a banger.
Hmm.
Ego was the one for me where we really like coined where this album was going. You know, there was a song written prior, but Ego was really like, oh, we found what we want to do, and like we are digging our heels in. Um, and Nepenthe is just like, Nepenthe is like, for lack of better terms, just so sexy. Like it sounds like real
And you've
club,
heard it, so you know what we're
like
talking about.
I
like
do.
sweaty club music. Like
Mm.
it is, that one's really hard to beat. It's just energetic, hot, just real freight train of
Mm.
energy, you know?
That'll translate very well live.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's gonna, yeah, I think that one's gonna go crazy live.
Yeah, I've got to wait so
Especially,
long for you to
yeah.
guys to get.
We have it placed in a very, very interesting spot in the set
Okay.
list. So we're excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
If this works out, I think it will be one of the coolest things that we've done. It is going to work out, but I
Yeah.
am just, you know, I think it'll be like, oh, yo, they did that? What? You know?
Hmm. Nice. I love that.